All right, everybody. Thank you all for coming out again tonight. We made it interesting.
Jeff, just kind of offense was there, defense struggled a bit. Just kind of your overview of the game to start.
Well, I think it's just what you said. Offensively, I was really impressed with how we shot the basketball, how we passed the ball. We were very unselfish, and defensively, we looked like a team that was just coming off a COVID pause. We did not practice on Friday, didn't practice Saturday, didn't practice on Sunday. Had 5 kids at practice on Monday and about 10 or 11 on Tuesday, then 12 for yesterday's practice. Myself, I just got out today. So I've got to, thank my staff. I thought they did a fantastic job of getting our kids prepared for this game today. And then the players. It wasn't our traditional practices in the terms of going through everything and having everybody out there on the floor to go through it. So it was a little unorthodox. And like I said, we haven't been out there as much. And we're a team that we do extremely well when we continue to practice the fundamentals, jumping to the ball. We chased them a lot today. And that was just because we didn't jump to the ball and get a better angle. So when they got it, I wasn't on their hip. I was in front of them.
There were a couple of times when you all seemed on the verge of breaking a game open, and then kind of took their eye off the ball and let Syracuse rally. How frustrating was that to you, or what was the most frustrating part about that?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I mean, sure, it's frustrating because you'd like to be able to win every game by 20 if you can. But at the same time, I knew it was going to be a challenge. I knew it was going to be a ball game. Syracuse plays hard. Syracuse shoots the ball from three-point line, and then they got to the free throw line. So I've got to give them a lot of credit. But we had our opportunities to get it to, we got it up to 11. We had a chance to get it to 13 to 15, and then when you can get it to that, then you might be able to put them away. But you've got to give Syracuse a ton of credit because I think they're playing 6, really playing 5. And I thought they looked in great shape. We really didn't get a chance to wear them down, which we've done to a lot of teams. So you've got to tip your hat to them, and I thought Vaughn did a great job and his staff of getting them prepared for this game.
Jeff, are you surprised that, a lot of times when teams have time off, the offense is rusty. Are you surprised that it was the defense that was off after the time off, or is that because you guys just, like you said, didn't have the people at practice to scout?
Well, I wasn't surprised. I was pleased with how we shot the ball. It was very encouraging. I thought we made some tough shots. Like I said, we were very unselfish. Now, we had some that were right there in and out. At the end of the first half, Chelsea makes a great drive, just miss it. Liz gets the O board. It goes around the rim and out. And then we had some breakdowns. We did some things we normally don't do. We went and doubled a time or two when there was no reason to. It turns into a 3. We've got the scramble there in the first half where it looks like we might get a turnover. We have 4 players go to the ball, and the player from Syracuse had it, just rolled over, threw it off her back to one who makes the pass to the next one, turns into a 3. Just things like that. Syracuse made some big shots to keep this as a ball game, but we kept our composure. Syracuse took that lead at 54-53 and, or 53-52, and we didn't get rattled. We continued to compete and play and made some big shots.
Scored 84 points, and I think only 6 of them came on fast break. Just the efficiency in the half court. Just what do you think led to that?
Well, we took good shots. We shared the ball well. 22 assists on 34 made field goals. Says a lot about how unselfish you are. And then we took shots that we take in practice. Especially in that first half, Haley was hitting that pull-up jump shot. We got her off the ball screen. And she really did a nice job of reading it and not penetrating too far. She took the shot when it was there and made some really, really big shots early. And just I thought it was a really good ball game for us at the offensive end.
Yeah, kind of along that same line, Syracuse's defensive efficiency. What were you stressing to them in terms of being careful with their shots and passes that helped you all offensively?
Well, I mean, we just really were concentrating on getting not settling to take one shot off take a shot off the first pass. Try to make them have to guard us on both sides of the floor, and we did a pretty good job of that. And then defensively, they beat us on a few areas that we'd been really good on in the past. Of hard hedge, we knocked down the roller. We didn't get there in time to knock the roller down, but that's partially because we haven't had a really chance to continue to practice that. So tomorrow we'll get back at it and just cover the basics and make sure we get dialed back in at the defensive end. But I was really pleased offensively, and then it was. I mean, it got to a point where we'd hit a three and go up 4. Then they'd come back and hit a three, cut it to 1. Then we'd hit a layup, get it to 3. Then they'd hit a 3. I mean, it was an offensive scoring barrage there for about 4 minutes where we couldn't put them away and they couldn't really get over the hump and stop us either.
Jeff, I know the score doesn't necessarily reflect it, but another close game, and you mentioned earlier you guys don't get rattled. Is there a common theme in some of these close games that you've seen from your team, such as not getting rattled down the stretch?
Yeah, I'm just really pleased that the composure that we keep. I think we take good shots instead of taking a forced shot. If someone's not open, they're making the next pass and getting a teammate a better look. And I think that's really important. I told our kids before the game, I've just really been impressed with how it honestly does not look like anybody's trying to get theirs. It's more what can I do to win? I thought Emily in the first half had 2 or 3 wide open elbow jumpers that she turned down and hits Liz for a layup, hits Kiana for a 3, just very unselfish. And that's why we are where we are right now, and that's got to continue for us to be as successful as we can be. Because when people aren't worried about getting theirs, how many points do I have? I need to get this. Then it comes easier. And when you can truly have satisfaction and joy when a teammate is doing well, then that's what's going to lead to your team doing well, and then the environment you have in your program.
Off topic for a second of the game, Haley's the jersey thing, the rights with the NIL and selling, being the first Louisville athlete. Can you just kind of comment on what that means, not just for her, but for your program to have, little girls, little boys, whoever in somebody's jersey on your team?
No, it's neat. I was really excited for Haley when we saw it get released, and the jerseys look great, which is important. If you're going to go out and sell a jersey, you want it to look like a quality product, and it is. And just to have a women's basketball player here at Louisville as your first, I think it speaks volumes for our program. And, I told our kids today, as you all saw before the game today, a good friend of mine, Luther Oberhausen, passed away on Saturday. And I told our kids that the impact that our players have had over the past 15 years on our community as a whole, Jody, I think it goes way beyond just winning basketball games. And the reason Haley's going to be able to sell jerseys here in Louisville and then obviously across the country, obviously with her following and so forth, is because of what's been built here. And our players, I told them the most valuable thing in this world that you can give someone is your time. And our players truly give their time. When they're out in this community, I have never had someone email me, text me, call me, and say, your players were rude. Your players didn't give my daughter or my son the time or didn't talk to me. And because that's the culture that we built here in the program that we have, this is what is exciting about this to me, is we have a culture, a program, players that people I think would want to buy a jersey. And to have Haley be the first player here at U of L on the basketball side, I think men or women, it speaks volumes. And it says it's a huge compliment for her, obviously, but at the same time for our program. No, I have to pay double. Are you kidding me? She wouldn't give me one free. Golly. No, I'm really excited for it. I think it's great. I mean, there are things that I've gotten emails, text messages. Are they selling them in kid sizes? We need kid sizes. And I'm like, I don't know. I'll find out, though. Because there are a lot of people that I do really believe will buy them.
Coach, kind of just talk about how this one was for Emily, obviously playing Syracuse where she had left to go into the transfer portal and on.
Yeah, I mean, it's one where she still has friends that play there. I saw, when she made that three in the corner, they had a little smile back and forth. And, it's the emotion that comes with it, obviously. But I thought she really did a nice job. I mean, again, she's 1 for 2 from three, 50%. She's shooting about 54% from the three-point line. Goes 6 of 6 at the free throw line, 5 assists, 2 turnovers. Just a solid game. I just, like I talked to her about, we just got to continue to work on keeping our composure. Because the officiating, they're trying their best to out there. And it can get frustrating. But at the same time, you've got to just continue to work on that. And she is. And she's just a competitor. And I'm just really, really happy for her, how things have progressed for her.
Jeff, you mentioned the fluctuation of players you had in practice all week. You expect to be good 100% going into Boston College?
Yes. Yeah, tomorrow, from my understanding, we should have everybody back and be ready to go so we can have a good practice tomorrow and get back to doing the fundamental things. And then have another good practice on Saturday before we go up to Boston College. Because Boston College has been playing some really good basketball. Schwartz had 39 the other day on Clemson, and I think she had 30 the game before that. So they're playing very, very good. And they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to want to come back and get us. Because it's not the score of that first game was no indication at all of what that team is. So I know that our kids also are aware of that because our games up at BC have always been competitive. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you.